So as the title probably suggests, this is not a build video. I am personally terrible at sticking to a specific build in Skyrim or any RPG for that matter. This is more what you call, as Barbosa would say, guidelines than actual rules. Roll the intro. Greetings, fellow adventurers! Fred here, and welcome to the Digital Adventure, the show that explores RPGs in the digital space. Now, I've made no secret that I thoroughly enjoy playing a Dragon Rider in Skyrim. From the airstrikes on bandit forts, to air-to-air combat, to fighting alongside my dragon from the ground while the dragon aids me from the air. There's a lot of fun to be had in this experience, for me at least. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down just how I make a Dragon Rider experience work in Skyrim. From the story, the look, the gameplay, I will be exploring it all as well as recommending a number of the mods that I use to help enhance the experience, especially on PC. With that being said, let's dive into it. Kicking things off with the character creation and story, I personally recommend either a Nord, Imperial, or Breton, but you can choose any race that you feel works better for you and that you feel comfortable with. Personally, I went with Enhanced Character Edit's Young Nord race. It's mechanically identical to that of a Nord, just with a more youthful appearance to get a similar coming-of-age story as that with Aragon. The vanilla start works perfectly as an origin for your character, but if you use Live Another Life mod, I highly recommend Survive a Dragon Attack or other starting points that have you close to Helgen, so as to tie you to what's going on with the dragons a lot more than what the others do. But there is one other starting point that I personally would recommend, and that is you own a farm outside Rorikstead, which gives you the humble origins as a farm boy trope, as opposed to anything else. But as I said, it's your call. As for where you go from here, I feel given the heroic nature of the Dragon Rider, I feel story-wise the main quest is a given, as Dragon Riders seem to be more heroic. But as for factions, the two big ones that I would join are the Companions, but dump the werewolf power first chance I get, and in order to boost the Dragon Rider's combat abilities, and the College of Winterhold in order to improve one's spell casting. When it comes to where I side on the Civil War, Aragon's story would have you join the Stormcloaks, but given that the nature of Skyrim's Civil War isn't as clear-cut as that of Aragon's, I would say choose whatever feels right. Personally, I feel the Stormcloaks have every right to be angry, but they're barking up the wrong tree. So I go with the Empire personally, but in regards to the DLC storylines, I side with the Dawn Guard and strike down Miraak. Simple as that. As far as my playstyle as a dragon rider, it is by and large a glorified spell sword. For my standing stone, I start with warrior, so my martial skills can have a bit more of a boost to make up for the amount of spells I sling around in game. As far as perk trees go, I personally, for what combat perk trees I go for, I go for smithing, one-handed, light armor, and sometimes archery. Thief skills are primarily just speech and alchemy. And in the magic trees, my primary schools are destruction, restoration, and alteration. Secondary is enchanting and conjuration, with illusion as an option to get some surprise attacks by making your magical ability silent to hostile enemy. Now, every dragon rider needs an assortment of gear for their adventures. And a lot of what I use is modded gear to give the general appearance and stats for the dragon rider I want to be. So for my weapon, I use Strun Quo, which is a sword inspired by by Zarok from the Aragon movie. I mean, if you're going to be inspired by something from that movie, the swords are the best thing to be inspired by. Sadly, this iteration of the mod isn't available on mod sites anymore, as the author is tweaking it last I checked. I just had an extra copy of this file just lying around on another device, so I just moved it around and bada bing. I'll see if I can get permission to pass around this file. I don't know if I'll be able to. We'll keep you posted on that. But moving on, the armor I use is the Nord Raven armor, which is inspired by the default armor of Eivor Wolfkiss from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I also complement this armor with a black linen cape to give the look of a cloaked warrior vibe, akin to Murtaugh's description in the books. On top of that, I use a number of accessories, either enchanted already or enchanted by yours truly, from varying mods, but the big one is the Armor of Intrigue mod, where I use the extra enchanted doodads that to add extra volume, texture, and utility to my Dragon Rider's kit. It also throw on a bedroll backpack for travel, because why the frick not? So, as I said earlier in the video, I prefer to use magic in the destruction, alteration, and restoration schools to be a dragon rider. For destruction, I usually sling elemental projectiles at my opponent because they've got good range and AoE. I prefer the adept spells personally, but I haven't gotten to the expert or higher spells yet. In alteration, I use the armor spells like Oak Flesh, Iron Flesh, and so on to improve my defenses. As I describe this as raising shields. But I also use this modded spell that basically allows me to open locks of a particular type, like novice to expert. But I also use transmute in order to get better ores, in order to smelt and smith to make more money. And lastly, in the restoration school, I use the heal self spells. Obviously, I use healing hands to heal my allies if that is indeed needed. But another restoration spell I use is Funerary Rite, right, which is from a mod. I think it's Arcanum, New Age of Magic, that basically cleans up dead bodies after a fight. If you count shouts as spells, I tend to focus on fire and frost shouts for for primary offense, but won't say no to using shouts like Clear Skies and Whirlwind Sprint thanks to their utility. Now, I know I use a lot of mods in order to make the Dragon Rider experience work, both cosmetically and mechanically, in the game of Skyrim. But maybe I'll do a video sharing some mods that enhance the experience and to make it more fun to play. But for right now, I'll just focus on sharing some mods that I personally use to basically get you in the air and enjoy being in the air while being a dragon rider. The first method is a combination of two mods. It's the first being Draconic Mastery, a collection of conjuration spells that let you conjure a wide variety of dragons. I personally prefer conjuring Odahviing because of this retexture mod that I use. But the second mod is what gets you riding the dragon, which is the Ride Dragon Lesser Power. Sadly, you can only acquire this power by using console commands. But this combo, given how early in the vanilla start that you can get access to the spell tomes for Draconic Mastery, and the fact that you can get through console commands, you can get dragon riding pretty early in the game, and this mod combo can get you can serve you well throughout most of the game. The second option is Call Dragon Shouts mod. The good news is this mod streamlines a lot of the process of calling and mounting your dragon that you would technically have a bit of a hassle in the previous combination. But the bad news is this is more of a late/end game a power because you need the Call Dragon shout out, and you need to talk to the dragon in question in order to get this power. Personally, I'd use it with Odahviing, but this one can serve as a good in-game end-game reward, I should say. After you basically beat specific story points of the game. And lastly, to improve the dragon riding experience overall while in the air, I use Command Dragon to streamline the controls. It's easy to use and far more responsive than the options in Special Edition. But the downside is overall, while dragon riding is an essential part of being a dragon rider, this is less of a build and more of a playstyle in general. I encourage folks watching this to go nuts with how to do it if you do make a rider in Skyrim. And if you do, I highly encourage you to leave how you do it in the comments. It's down below. I want to hear it all. But before I let you go, I'll turn you over to Noctis for the routine in calls to action. Thank you, Fred, and thank you all for coming by, if you are returning viewers. If you are new around here, still thank you, and be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep up to date with everything we're doing here on the channel. You can also check out the channel's Linktree page, where you can find us on Twitch, check out our social media, and if you think we've earned it, consider supporting us on Patreon and Throne and so on. Now, back to you, Fred. Thank you, Noctis, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the trail of adventure.